and is currently working on perfecting reusable rockets, space travel, connecting the human brain directly to computers, connecting cities with electromagnetic bullet trains, the Starlink satellite system that's so important to the war in Ukraine. And then on Tuesday, he's going to work on that tunnel thing on traffic. He also tweets a lot. Elon Musk. Did I get the full order of things that you do in a day there? When I was reading there, I left out the tunnel thing at the end. Do you work on all these things?
A lot of jobs.
Do you do all these things every day? Do you work on all of them in a single day?
No.
No.
But I do have, I do have a long work day. Yeah. So I work a lot.
They attack you a lot.
They do.
Yeah. and you seem to laugh it off, which I think is fantastic. I love it that you have a sense of humor, because a guy as important as you, who makes changes, could use your powers for evil and not good. The fact that...
Absolutely.
You could.
I would, of course, I would, never use them for evil. That's
no, I
crazy.
know. But the way I know that is because you have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
You really do.
I
you
try to.
Yeah, you like laughing. You like to be funny.
I mean, I kill me.
Right. As opposed to somebody like Zuckerberg, who I'm not even sure is a real boy.
Yeah. I actually love comedy, and actually, many years ago, I actually was in the audience here and watched your show.
Oh,
so
really?
I've been a long-time admirer of your show.
Oh, well, thank you. It's really the people in tech who change the world. They're the people who deal the cards, whether it's fire or electricity, or, for good or bad, or the cotton gin, or the iPhone, or the atom bomb. Those are the cards, and the rest of us just play it. Would you agree with that assessment?
I think technology is the thing that causes these big step changes in civilization. So obviously you've got things like, say, the Gutenberg press, before which it was very difficult to get books. They were very rare. Even if you had a thirst for knowledge, you really couldn't do anything about it because there were very few books to read. So, and the internet is something beyond the Gutenberg press, I think. But you know, it's when I first saw the internet coming into being in a way that the general public could use it, it felt like the humanity as a whole was developing a nervous system. So previously, the way the information would travel would be by osmosis, one person to another, or one person calling another. But the access to information was very limited. Now with the internet, it's like having a nervous system. It's like any part of humanity has access to almost all the information of humanity.
So you are one of these dealers, these people who deal the cards and
I deal some memes too.
Yes, you do.
Some. I think we need to be very cautious about anything that is anti-meritocratic, and anything that is that results in the suppression of free speech. So, you know, those are two of the aspects of the work mind bias that I think are very dangerous. Is that it's often anti-meritocratic. You can't question things. Even the questioning is bad. So, you know, another way to almost synonymous would be cancel culture. And free speech is actually is extremely important, and it's bizarre that we've come to this point where, like, free speech used to be a left or liberal value, and yet we see from, you know, the in quotes left a desire to actually censor, and that seems crazy. I mean, I think we should be extremely concerned about anything that undermines the First Amendment. There's a reason for the First Amendment. The First Amendment is because people came from countries where they could not speak freely, and where saying certain things would get you thrown into prison. And they were like, well, we don't want that here. I really can't emphasize this enough. We must protect free speech, and free speech only matters. It's only relevant when it's someone you don't like saying something you don't like, because obviously speech that you like is you know, that's easy. So it's the thing about censorship is that, sure, for those who would advocate it, just remember, at some point, that will be turned on you. The amount of indoctrination that's happening in schools and universities is, I think, far beyond what parents realize. And I sort of came to realize this somewhat late. The experience that we had in high school and college is not the experience that kids today are having, and hasn't been for, I don't know, 10 years, maybe 20 years. So parents are just generally not aware of what their kids are being taught, or what they're not being taught. You have to say, like, well, what does canceled mean? You know, I mean, yes, if people attack you on Twitter, that's one thing, but frankly, that's just going to increase engagement. So I would just ignore it.
Well, that's easy for you because they can't take your job away or any of your main 10 jobs, but they could take mine, and they did once, by the way.
Yeah.
So,
okay, well, fair.
You know, I was like literally canceled. And,
You were literally-
yeah, I mean, like the show
Like,
is canceled.
It's
So,
like,
so you were in Congress, at Congress the other day, talking with Chuck Schumer about AI. I'm very interested in this because you've been on this for years. I've always thought you were right about this. I think you're right about almost everything. I mean, let's have more babies and raise them on Mars. I don't get that, but okay.
Well, I just think we should be cautious about civilizational decline and we have plummeting birth rates most places, yeah.
Right, and also plummeting resources. I mean,
resources will be fine.
But they're not
And
fine.
I know a lot about
They're
it.
not fine now.
No, look, I'm not suggesting complacency. We do want to move to a sustainable energy economy as quickly as possible, but we're not in any danger of resource collapse. Earth is 70% water by surface area.
But you can't drink that.
But desalination is absurdly cheap.
Why don't we do it then?
We do it. It is done.
You have a lot of free time.
It is done. There is a lot of desalination done.
Okay,
there's plenty of water. This is not an issue. I want to be clear.
All right. So, but let's talk about AI because, like, you were on this tip 10 years ago when nobody else was. And I always thought he's right. Why? Because I've seen too many movies. Everything that happens in movies that happens in real life. And you know, if you make things that are way smarter than you, why wouldn't they become your overlords?
With respect to AI. I just think we should have some sort of regulatory oversight. So, you know, for anything that is a danger to the public, if it's sort of aircraft, cars, food and drug and whatnot, we've got some regulatory oversight, like a referee, essentially, and making sure that companies don't cut corners. So, I think that if one agrees that AI is a potential risk to the public, then there should be some regulatory body that oversees what companies are doing so that they don't cut corners and potentially do something very dangerous. Yeah, it depends. If some people want to live forever or for a much longer period of time and they see AI as the only way to, or digital superintelligence as the only thing that can figure out how to get them to live forever, I think Kurzweil is in that category. So he would prefer to have AI, artificial general intelligence, than not, because it can figure out longevity. I was living in the library of Twitter for a while. Yes, I think things are reasonably stabilized right now. It was just on the fast track to bankruptcy after the acquisition, so I had to take drastic action. There wasn't any choice.
Right, I'm just saying it's hard for a woman.
Yeah.
To, like, when the guy lives at the factory.
Yes.
That could be a stumbling block. But
yes, overall, with my concern with Twitter was it is somewhat of the digital town square, and it's important that there be both the reality and perception of trust for a wide range of viewpoints, and there was a lot of censorship going on, and we sort of uncovered a lot of that with the Twitter files, including a lot of government-driven censorship, which it seems that that's got to be a constitutional violation, what was going on there. But since I'm like an avid Twitter user, I could detect that like something's not right here, and so that's really why I did the acquisition. It wasn't because I thought this was an easy way to make money or something like that. This is me being mayor of Tweet Town or whatever. Is definitely like there's a lot of arrows pointed at you, like flying at you.
Of course, but your heart is always in the right place. You were trying to fix this world, and look, I could talk to you forever. We can't today. I'd love to get high with you. I know a great place to do it. But I can't tell you how much I appreciate you. I know you have a lot of choices and places you can go. Thank you, Elon Musk, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I'll see you soon, Elon.